microphone still on? Or did you... Oh,
I think so.
So did you
Right there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought it fell off. So did a good job of concealing. So we're good. Okay. Tapes are rolling. So first off, I didn't know if you could give us a brief introduction, who you are, where we're at, and what you do here at Wastewater Distribution.
My name's Jeff Cart. I'm the water distribution supervisor for the city of Salina. The building we work out of is located at 319 East Elm. Say our main objective here is to make sure all the citizens of Salina have drinking water, domestic water, water for fire protection. We have a crew of 12 utility maintenance worker ones down here and 2 operations foremen. We have approximately 320 miles of water mains we're responsible for maintaining and repairing, and approximately 22 to 2,300 fire hydrants, about 20,000 water services, and roughly 4,000 valves in the system. When something breaks or we have an interruption in service, we need to be able to repair it promptly to get people back in water quickly. To do that, we have to keep a rather large inventory of fittings and parts and whatnot to make the repair and make it in a timely fashion. Everybody down here, basically, we're scheduled to work a 40-hour week, but everybody down here is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they do a really good job at responding when we need them to repair something. Say we also get called to turn water services on or off, be it for after repair or to get somebody's service initiated or whatever the case may be. Any of the after hour calls are handled out of this building. Like I say, they do a wonderful job answering the phone and repairing the leaks and stuff like that. This year has really been a slow year as far as main breaks, which is a good thing for us. I don't have some exact numbers for you, but we're probably at around 50 main breaks this year so far, which is considerably less than what we normally would have. I'd say normally by now there's years we'd be approaching 200 main breaks by now, which has really been nice for the guys. It's nice to go home and not have your phone ring and not have to work 8 hours in between your 8-hour shift and not work the weekends. But say when it is needed, they do a good job of responding to the calls. There's also 8 water storage tanks in the system. They range from a couple 100,000 gallons, I believe, is the smallest one, to 1 million gallons is the largest, I believe. We have 5 different pressure zones in the system. So there's also pressure stations out there, booster pumps and stuff that we help maintain along with the water plant. That's kind of a joint effort there. We assist them in taking care of that kind of thing. Like I say, our main objective down here is to make sure every citizen in town has water to drink. And say our crews are kind of split up into 2 crews. I have a foreman that's over the water main side of it and a foreman that's over the service line side of it. And they each have 6 people working underneath them. Under the service line foreman, his name's Greg Griswell. We also have a person that mainly deals with water meters. He tests them, gets them ready to be put in the service, and we don't do much rebuilding of them anymore. The meter industry's pretty well went the direction to where it's cheaper to buy new meters than it is to try and rebuild them, and their accuracy seems to stay more accurate a lot longer than they used to. But like I say, each of those have approximately 6 people that work underneath them, and they're busy, hustling every day to try and keep up with what it is we need to do around here. And a little later you'll talk to each one of them and they'll kind of give you a little demonstration of exactly what they do, in their day-to-day operations. Say a big part of the distribution side of it, which Jim Corbin's the foreman there, is maintenance of hydrants and valves. Say we have approximately 2,200 fire hydrants in the system, and fire hydrants kind of like car insurance. It's something you have to have, but you hope you never need to use. So if they do need to use it, we need to make sure they're operable and you know they work. And the age of our fire hydrants, or the age of our entire water system, is, you know, there's parts of it that are quite old, dating from, you know, the early 1800s or the late 1800s or early 1900s. And we've got quite a few fire hydrants that were installed in around 1913 in that area that we're still using, and they operate good. But it's a full-time job staying on top of those and getting them replaced or repaired, you know, if they don't work, because if you need them, they got to be able to work, or the fire department they don't much care for that. So that's a big part of his side of things, and he's going to kind of show you fire hydrant here a little bit later. Like I say, everybody down here, we're kind of split into two groups, but everybody down here is capable of performing every aspect of the job. You know, if it's running a new service to repairing a water main. The main focus of our after-hour emergency calls would be repairing water mains, so naturally everybody needs to become pretty good and efficient at that, because you need to get the water back on as quickly as you can in a safe manner, and that's really important to the customer.
Okay. Could you walk us through what does it take when you get a call to repair a water main, either day or night? What's the average process or amount of time that you guys go through?
If a citizen calls in, or the police department or whatever, say we'll send a person out to actually check and see what it is. It could be, you know, water main leak, it could be a service line, it could be somebody's sprinkler system. You know, we go out and verify that it is a main break. And at that point we start a utility locate, which has to be done before anybody can do any digging. And for an emergency locate, the utility companies, they have 2 hours to respond. After 2 hours you can start digging, but we don't. You know, they usually let us, they're pretty good at it. They'll call and say, hey, I'm tied up, or I'm out of town quite a ways, it's going to be 2.5 or 3 hours. And normally we can control the leak with valves. We can close it down to where we're not destroying a street, or to where it's not some kind of safe